Hello there. That's right. I scared myself. Can you hear me out there, everybody? I heard a voice that sounded familiar. This is Jon Hammond at the microphone and at the organ. I'd like to wish everybody a beautiful Veterans Day for 2024 on the 11th hour of the 11th day on the 11th month, as the tradition calls for. You know, folks, when I was a little boy, I was a kind of a joker. Yeah, I got in trouble all the time at school. And they sent me to the principal's office all the time until we got to be good friends, actually. He asked me, "Are you going to be like this all the time? What are you going to be when you grow up?" I told him I was going to be a musician. I couldn't even play anything then, but I just knew it. So I was listening to the radio. That's how I got the idea. And I don't know, maybe in the 4th grade, I think it was, they said to write a story. And I wrote a story about an elephant named Twinkles. Twinkles the magic elephant. And I think they got mad at me again because it was a different kind of story that I was supposed to write. I just recently came across it, and I would like to read it to you right now. In my own handwriting, I wrote it very carefully, printing. Let's see if I can do it to my own music. This is a song I wrote called Melody Without Name. Twinkles the Magic Elephant by Jon Hammond. George walked down the empty, dark street about midnight. His heavy footsteps echoing in the fog-filled air. He was walking at a stiff, nervous pace with $500 of his newly earned poker winnings clutched tightly in his fist. Suddenly, 2 dark, massive figures stepped out in George's path. George panicked and ran as fast as his legs would carry him. But alas, the footsteps in back of him were gaining rapidly. Finally, George released a last gasp of terror and collapsed, frozen with horror on the cold, musty street. In an instant, the 2 figures were hovering menacingly over him, grunting as they walked slowly around him. Next piece. Finally, they stopped and looked him straight in the eye. George was still holding the money tightly in his sweating, trembling hand. He slowly pushed his hand toward his assailants and said in a broken, scared voice, "Please take the money, but spare me." Suddenly, there was a huge flash from the sky, and Twinkles, the magic elephant, appeared. Twinkles recited the magic chant, old magic trunk turn into a giant fist and knock out the evil assailants, thusly saving George. Magically, the act occurred. George stood up and heaved a great sigh of relief. Twinkle said, "You know, George, you really shouldn't gamble. See what happens?" George replied, "How can you condemn the fruits of sin if you have never dwelled within its orchards?" Twinkles only smiled. That's right. And that's my story for Veterans Day 2024. I got some pictures to walk you through if you're still there, folks. Yeah, I can tell you about every one of these pictures because I shot them all over the world with that camera. And since I got my Nikon in 1981 from Ken Hansen Photo, I flew on the Concorde jet to Paris. I was 28 years old. I had an Olympus OM camera before that. You know, everything's digital now, but I shot a lot of film. I used to spend my food money on film and developing and rode a bicycle everywhere. In fact, I was a bicycle messenger in New York City for a time. Yeah, well, those days, my bicycle days, my motorcycle days, they're behind me now. It's dangerous enough playing the organ and the accordion here and there and everywhere I got to go. That's my man Yosef, the barber. Yeah, he keeps my hair cut for me. I used to have real long hair. Well, once you get to be my age, you better cut it off because otherwise it's going to come out in your brush, you know. It can't even grow back that fast, you know. I've been hitting a few donut shops that especially like the wind shells, you know. Yeah. And I even been playing some piano. I didn't play piano for years, you know. I feel kind of good, you know. It's easier for me to play an organ and accordion. Easier on the old hands, you know. Yeah. How's everybody doing out there? You still with me? This is Jon Hammond, the organ player, the accordion squeezer, not the singer, you know, what they say about me. The fingers are the singers. Did everybody have a good Halloween? Man, oh man, it was crazy out there. I saw some wild costumes. Yeah. I was good. I only had 2 little tiny chocolate bars, an almond joy, and I broke off a little piece of that Kit Kat bar, don't you know? There's Maurice. Hi, Maurice. He's got a nice cafe in LA. Yeah. Yeah, I've been learning a few good old American standards. And then enjoying playing them. I've been going down to the Musicians Union. I belong to 3 musicians unions now. Local 802, New York City. Local 6, San Francisco. And AFM Local 47, Los Angeles. I spent a lot of time at Sardi's. You know Sardi's? On 44th Street? Got all the celebrities up on the wall. Yeah, I just wanted to someday be on the wall of Sardi's. And I met a lot of interesting, some famous people in there too, you know. Al Pacino and a lot of Broadway actors. Al walked right up to me and just looked me right in the eye. I used to see him actually on the steps of my apartment, which is, for 25 years, I lived next door to the actor's studio. And he used to sit on our stairs sometimes, and that's where I met Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward, his wife, and they used to walk down the street holding hands after many, many years of marriage. I always enjoyed seeing them. Yeah. That's when I played in Moscow. There I'm in Frankfurt, Germany with the boys. And my music friends at the NAMM Show. Paul Butterfield. The late, great Paul Butterfield. Yeah. I got some lost footage that I shot with him. You can find it if you go on Google or YouTube. He was born in Chicago like me. Yeah, that's right. I was born on the south side of Chicago. There I'm in Hawaii with my friends. We rented a Rolls Royce. Put the cash down. 4 people split it 4 ways. Picked up my friend Laverne, Eddie Money's first girlfriend that I met back in the early 70s. And she did the smart thing and went back to Hawaii and had a baby. And we took them in the Rolls Royce to a picnic on the beach. Waikiki. Beautiful. Yeah, I hope Laverne is doing okay. I haven't seen her in a long time. And we got to meet and hang out with some of the people from the Don Ho TV show. Yeah, when we were in Honolulu back then. That piano was mine. I bought it from Peter Frampton. And it's in a restaurant somewhere in Southern California now. It was beautiful. I enjoyed it a lot. Thank you, Joe Lamont, for presenting me this Believe in Music Award at the NAMM Show a few years ago. And that is my piano teacher, Tony Germain, at Berklee College of Music. We sat down 40 years after my first lesson with Tony. Yeah. And that was a gig I played in the Greek Theater, UC, Berkeley, during the Berkeley Folk Festival. Yeah, I love this song, Besame Mucho. When I called it on the band in Frankfurt, Tony Lakatos and Giovanni, they were groaning. They said, "No, man, this is a jazz gig, you know?" I said, "Yeah, well, next time I'll call Havana Gila. And you know I can play that too." This song was written by the great Consuelo Velasquez. Her story is most remarkable. When she got famous, they asked her on the radio, "Consuelo, how did you become such a great composer and musician?" She told the saddest story. Brought tears to my eyes. She said, when she was growing up as a little girl, nobody kissed her. But she wrote this song, and you know what? After she wrote this song, she got a lot of kisses. Consuelo Velasquez. Besame mucho. Yeah. It's Jeff Sama, huh? Yeah, long career at NBC. Stage manager for everybody. Yeah. Good friend of mine. Well, I'm oiling up my Hammond B3 there. There we are in Paris. Mark Baum, great saxophone Play a good friend of mine all the way back to kindergarten. That's right. We go way back. Yeah, everybody's copying me now with my glasses, right? Jim Wishmeyer, back-end speakers. I love my back-end speaker. Eddie Money, Eddie Sorensen, I had a band with them. And Manji Suzuki, he saved the Hammond organ, brought it together with Leslie Speakers in Hamamatsu, Japan. It was a big honor to play for everybody in the company. I want to thank my friend Tachi, Waichiro Tachikawa. Thank you, Tachi, for inviting me to Hamamatsu for that special event, and he introduced me to Koi Tanaka, my good friend now for a long time, one of the greatest harmonica players in the world. I played with Koi many times. I hope he'll come back to the NAMM Show. It's coming right up. We're going to be playing on the first day for openers. And I hope to see everybody there bright and early because we're the openers. Before they open the door, we'll be playing as they open the door, as long as it's not raining. Well, I'm going to bring it home, everybody, with this nice cadenza that I got for you in the key of D minor for all you musicians out there. Yeah. And thank you, my friend Ray at Hammond Organ USA, for renewing my organ. I'll be playing it in Hammond at the Anaheim NAMM Show. There it is, Twinkles, the Magic Elephant story from Jon Hammond. I just want to say one last thing. Bye-bye now. Hello, everybody. This is Jon Hammond. I got a new microphone talker. Can you hear me out there, everybody? Thank you very much for joining me for some more of my music and stories and some pictures of some good pie I had at the wonderful House of Pies. Yeah. Well, I'd like to take this opportunity to wish everybody out there a very beautiful Veterans Day weekend 2023 as we remember our veterans and honor them. That's right. Well, I'm very happy I got my Hammond SK1 organ repaired and renewed by my good friend Ray at Hammond Organ USA. Came back and I've been taking it down to the Musicians Union and playing some tunes down there. And yesterday I had a real nice session with a beautiful tenor saxophonist, woodwinds player from Singapore, Booty. That's his name, Booty. He said, shake your booty. Yeah. Booty Winarto. He plays real nice. And that's the organ right there. I've been playing all my gigs through a really beautiful and lightweight but powerful Mark bass amplifier. And recently, I got a pile of D cells, batteries, and I decided I would go back to the old type of flashlight to put the D cell batteries in there. And I got a real powerful one. This is my friend Scott. He's the owner of Fenton's Creamery. The beautiful ice cream. I had some after my gig nearby there. And oh man, it was good. And they also serve excellent breakfast. There's my friends Vanji and Dev Singh. And I go way back with them, you know. Well, I've been hitting some donut places. And there's a really great movie. It's called Donut King. If you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend it. It's amazing. I'm still on cable TV every Friday night. 40 years, everybody. Yikes. I'll be on TV tonight at 1:30 in the morning, New York Eastern Standard Time, on Manhattan Neighborhood Network and streaming all around the world. Yeah, I've been going to this gathering of car enthusiasts, which I am one, because I'm an old road doggy, and I got a nice old car that was my dad's car, and I joined these folks on a regular Saturday thing that they do. Met some really nice car people. Yeah. Well, I got some good news. Real good news. We're going to be playing again at the NAMM Show with my entire band, the Jon Hammond Funk Unit. We're going to be the opening band. And we hit right before they open the doors, so everybody's sort of captive out there by our bandstand, because they're waiting to go in the show. They can't go in until they open the doors, and we're going to hit them with some funky tunes at 9:45 in the morning, January 25th. It's a Thursday. We'll be out there bright and early, too, before that, sound checking and having fun with everybody who comes to Anaheim Convention Center for the big NAMM Show. That stands for National Association of Music Merchants. And I've been going with my friend Joe Berger since 1987. Well, we got some beautiful skies for this weekend. I want to leave you with this and tell you one last thing before I slide out of here, and that is bye-bye now. job, man. All right.